Hey guys, what's up? It's Eli Knight with Guy Jiu-Jitsu, and I'm down here visiting some friends and doing seminars and stuff in Ocala, Florida this week. And I'm here with Jeremy Bird, and we've been talking about some different knee shield things and some different passing things. And I was sharing with him, I don't know why I didn't talk to him about this pass a long time ago, because he's a big strong guy, and this is what I like to show big strong guys for this pass. I'm not a big strong guy, but this is a good big strong guy pass, and by that I mean that it's good for big strong guys to do to other people, and it's also a good one sometimes if you have good technique to do to big strong guys, because they don't have the same flexibility and everything sometimes. So anyway, this is commonly referred to, this is a modified Tozi or Sao Paulo pass. Start inside the close guard, and I like this one for myself whenever the guy is holding close guard and he's also not really allowing me to posture up. And so that's something you commonly face with bigger, stronger guys like this here. So I'm being held down like this. And so what I want to do to start it out, I want to try to kind of back my knees up a little bit like this here. So I'm putting my knees together kind of behind his butt. I'm going to slide down and start on his hip this direction here. So then I'm going to start stuffing things into my right side pocket. That's kind of what I want to think about the whole time. So whenever I go here, I want to step back and I want to sprawl my hips like a sit out. So I'm going to sprawl and push at the same time this way. So I'm trying to get his leg kind of down toward the mat like this here. So whenever I start that, I'm going to keep this kind of clock choke stepping going. So I'm sitting out here like this. I want to switch to his elbow or shoulder. So I'm going to kind of walk up the chain here. So I'm hip, and then I'm going to push clear elbow like this here. The next thing I'm going to clear is I'm going to get the top of his shoulder. I'm going to stuff that down too. So the whole time I'm hooking on this underside hook over here like this. I keep walking it up, and so it's getting pretty uncomfortable for him by now probably. And so then from there, next I get here to the other side of his head. And I want to bring his head back toward, thinking still stuffing all this into my right side pocket back here. And once I feel that and I feel his grip start to break, now when his grip breaks, there's a couple different ways I can do this. I can step up and shin pin with this side here, but a lot of times I feel more comfortable stepping and hooking this side. If I can do that, this is really good here. Keeping his head pin the whole time. I've got that kind of shin staple. Next, I'm gonna sweep back here like this. So now he's kind of compacted. He's gonna wanna look to expand. I pick this up, and then I can slide out, finish with a scarf hold, modified side control, something like that right there. Now, this is good on somebody who's big, got a lot of mass, and they don't have as much comfort being folded in half. But I want to show it too, if you do have somebody that's more flexible, you've already committed to this pass, but now you're they're all folded up and they're comfortable. So what can we do with that? So that's not you. So now we've replaced our former big guy with a smaller, flexible girl. So if I have Anya here and I'm inside the close guard and she's flexible with long legs, which is a bad combination of a person to go against with jiu-jitsu. So I want to make sure though that I have an underhook kind of established on one side. That's kind of a prerequisite thing I need. So then I'm going to back both my knees up here, which is kind of an unstable feeling inside the guard where both my knees are behind her butt. I want to slide back, find her hip on the side, and again I'm going to sprawl, sit out combination like that. So I go here, I sprawl, sit out, so I've already tucked her hip slightly over toward my right side. So her hip going to my right hip. Now I'm gonna slide back, keep some pressure on that leg as I start walking around here like this. The next thing, again, I'm gonna push to the elbow here as I keep walking. Next thing, I'm gonna go to the shoulder. Once I get to the shoulder here, take another big step up like this. I'm keeping the underhook fairly tight on this side over here. And then the next step in the process here, when I finally get to some of the final steps, I wanna get here. Going to the neck is okay, but she's pretty strong there. I wanna go to the head. If I can get her head kind of cranked over toward her shoulder like this, as I move up north this way here, then finally, I wanna get to a position where her legs are about to split. Now, she's so flexible and so bendy and her legs are long, so it's making it difficult on the side. So what I'm gonna do instead is I wanna try to either reach back with my elbows, so just kind of monitor and find the connection here like this, keeping her head folded. I wanna take this leg here, step, and then break that connection here like this. So I wanna make sure, once I break that connection here, and I get this leg through, I'm gonna do the same thing I did mentioning with Jeremy a while ago. I want this foot here, my right foot, the one that's on the ground, kick to my butt. And then once I kick this one to my butt here, it's gonna try to find her ankle. And I shin staple like this here, and then I'm pretty much for the most part past. I wanna be careful though, she doesn't replace guard right away once I let the elbow on the back of her head go. So I'm gonna hold her shoulder here like this. This one's gonna trace back before I go to sit out. I'm gonna find her arm here, pick the elbow up, and then slide through to a scarf hold, modified side control of some kind, and then I'm past, hopefully, you know? So, again, this pass here, commonly referred to as the Sao Paulo pass. You'll see this happen a lot in competition, gi and no gi, all different weight divisions, flexible people, not flexible people. So I always teach this one to guys for a good big guy pass. So if you're a big guy looking to play big guy jiu-jitsu, this pass should be in your repertoire, I think. So I hope you like it, guys. Check it out and let me know what you think. Keep watching the Jiu-Jitsu channel, guys.